Hello everyone, and thank you for being part of the United chapter, and please subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on whatever I've got to bring to as long as this post and as long as it is Manchester United related right about here at the United chapter with me, your very host Abu KALS. I'm definitely right here to bring to you the latest trades as it comes in. It will be remembered that the football club Manchester United is in the summer transfer window, shopping quite a big number of football players, trying to make sure that a number definitely gets to the club Manchester United. And do not forget that Rasmus Hojlund and Mason Greenwood are the football players that we're going to be focusing on. But also do not forget that we're going to be talking about yet other dropping stories, interesting stories about Mason Greenwood is already there. We're going to talk about it. But the other interesting one is Kobbie Mainoo. There's something to talk about Kobbie Mainoo, and also the Fiorentina superstar, and that's none other than Sofyan Amrabat, who is also a Moroccan international. So let's start with the one and only. Whom should we start with? Let's start with Rasmus Hojlund. So I will be remembered that Rasmus Hojlund, who is a Danish professional football player but also plays for Atalanta, is one of those football players that has been eyed by a big number of football clubs. And the latest club that has joined the race of the football player is none other than Paris Saint-Germain. But it will be remembered that PSG is really not going to win this race whatsoever, because PSG has put in a bid, but the club Atalanta is not very much into selling to them, and neither is the football star Rasmus Hojlund very much into a move to the club Paris Saint-Germain. I don't know, maybe possibly because it's a club that has quite big superstars, but almost everybody's running out of PSG, with Kylian Mbappe also heading for an exit. Definitely a lot is happening in that club. Anyway, with Manchester United, really, Rasmus Hojlund definitely is one of those football players that are on the hunt list for Erik ten Hag. And Erik ten Hag has come out and said that he definitely wants a striker, and he wants a top striker, and that's why we most likely going to be seeing the one and only Rasmus Hojlund joining the club Manchester United. At this moment in time, as we speak, Rasmus Hojlund is already in England, and he's come to play a friendly match. And Atalanta is going to be facing one of the England teams today, and the superstar will be part of the squad that will play. And do not forget still that there is a big possibility that he's going to be with Manchester United. He's going to have a few talks with the Manchester United management about his transfer. So there is very good information, a big deal coming in. Do not forget to keep around so that I can bring you the latest update on the football star. And I will remember that £60 million is what the club Manchester United said that is going to be paying for the football player. And at first, we'll be put to note that Atalanta came out and said they need £80 million, and no £80 million the superstar won't be able to play for the club. But by the look of things, really, it's definitely going on quite well. Everything is going on very, very well and extremely well, because the club Manchester United offered the £60 million, and Atalanta reportedly agreed the £60 million. And definitely £80 million, Manchester United is not willing to extend to that fact, £80 million. So we could most likely be seeing the football player joining the club Manchester United. Let's hope everything falls in place for Rasmus Hojlund, and he can definitely get to the club Manchester United. You can let us know what you definitely think about the superstar. Let us know what you think about Rasmus Hojlund, who is a very wonderful one, a very good football player for the club Atalanta, but most likely is going to end up at the club Manchester United. Anyway, let's talk about yet another football player. Also a very interesting one, and that is none other than Sofyan Amrabat, who is a midfielder. So there is something about Sofyan Amrabat, and at this moment in time, it's a big deal, and we've got to combine Sofyan Amrabat and Kobbie Mainoo. We'll remember that Kobbie Mainoo sustained an injury. He got an injury when just a few minutes before the game even, wasn't it? he got an injury when Manchester United was playing Real Madrid, and this injury has come out to be nasty, and it is reportedly said that this injury will last more than a couple of months, and that definitely means that he's going to be out. Manchester United has confirmed that Kobbie Mainoo will be out the first period of the transfer. The first period of the of 2023-2024 season. He will be out. So that definitely means Manchester United needs a defensive midfielder as a must. As you already know that Manchester United has been on the hunt, but Kobbie Mainoo was picking up, and Erik ten Hag was relying on Kobbie Mainoo for a few aspects because he's quite a good one. But at this moment in time, things have changed, and Sofyan Amrabat is the big target, with Manchester United noticing that there is a problem now at United when it comes to defensive midfield. I know United has got Casemiro and stuff, but Kobbie Mainoo is also doing quite well. Was definitely doing very well, and we might see Sofyan Amrabat play alongside the one and only Casemiro, who is a very good one. Anyway, so that urge is now definitely the urge of the football player is definitely now out there, and the club needs a football player like him. And Manchester United has gone on and had a few talks with the Fiorentina superstar, and that definitely means that his chances, the probability of ending up at Manchester United is very, very high and extremely high. So you can let us know what you definitely think about the superstar and him joining the club Manchester United. As I personally think it would be a brilliant thing. I think it would be one of the best things that Manchester United does if he gets Sofyan Amrabat, the Moroccan international, but also plays for Fiorentina because he's a wonderful talent. Anyway, let's talk about yet another superstar, and we're talking about the one and only Mason Greenwood. You remember that Mason Greenwood had a few runs with should I say he had a few runs with the police. He had charges, I must say. He had a few charges to answer with the police, and he had charges about I don't want to mention it, but what we can say, he had how can I frame it? I don't want to call it what it is really, but he had offenses to answer with the police, and he was for now 18 months. He's been off for 18 months, and at this moment in time, he's been looking at making a return to the club, Manchester United. And we've got great news about the football player, as the official sponsors of the club really came out and said they've got they have got no problem with Mason Greenwood coming back to play football, because they've got no business to do with it, because Manchester United, Adidas were really many fans were thinking that Adidas might have a big problem, and if really Adidas has a problem because it's the official sponsor of Manchester United, then there could be a bit of a problem in there. But the sponsors have given green lights for Manchester United to complete this deal, make sure that he returns and gets back to football. So let's hope really everything goes on quite well for the club, Manchester United, and let's also hope that things keep on moving on quite well for the football player Rasmus Hojlund, plus and now the one we've talked about, the one and only Mason Greenwood. What do you think about the two football players? Let us know what you definitely think about the two wonderful football players, Rasmus Hojlund and Mason Greenwood. We could definitely be seeing the pair, all of them being at Manchester United very, very soon. So I think that it won't be a bad thing if I say thank you for being part of this podcast, and please subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on whatever I've got to bring to you. As long as this sports and as long as this Manchester United related, right about here at the United chapter with me, your very host, KALS, as I've been talking about a few football players, talking about Rasmus Hojlund, talking about the Fiorentina superstar Sofyan Amrabat, and do not forget that I've also been talking about the one and only Mason Greenwood, and all these football players, big possibility that they're going to be playing for Manchester United the coming season. Otherwise, if I say thank you and goodbye, I would not have done a bad thing. Otherwise, let's meet in another podcast. Thank you and goodbye.